What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel for How to Love a Battered Woman. And on this episode of the Baldie Breakdown, we're going to be talking about Ari Fletcher and her comments that she's made over the last couple of weeks that are absolutely disgusting, and we need to break it down. Now, y'all know me, and y'all know I don't like victim shaming, victim blaming, or anything of that sorts, and her comments are just despicable. So we're going to jump into it. We're going to get right after it. But first, you know, we gotta treat you any kind of way.
Two, y'all are in the comments like, oh, when I was in a relationship, this boy put out. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about what happened to you, what trauma you had. Nobody cares. This is you trying to victimize yourself and use this. Oh, like this. Yeah, don't worry about my wig. Yes, child. Anyway, like, please, stop. You in the comments, you telling your stories about nobody cares. We do not care. We don't care. We don't care. We do not care at all. Like, we don't care. We don't care. We don't. We just don't care. One time my boyfriend, so what? So what? And now what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Y'all trying to victim. You want to be a victim so bad.
You want to be a victim so bad. Okay, so we're going to start with that because that line irritates me a lot. Actually, I just got hit with that line last week by somebody that used to be a friend of mine, which is hysterical to me. It's very funny, but it's also not funny at the same time. Because when you tell somebody that they want to be a victim, they're not being a victim. They are a survivor. And it was my understanding that Ari Fletcher herself is a survivor of domestic violence. So for her to make these comments it's just very disrespectful, and it's just I don't even have a word for it. And it's frustrating because there are so many young women and people that look up to her and they watch her, and I know a lot of people say, well, I'm not a role model, I'm not raising anybody's kids, but the image that you're giving off still matters. It matters because regardless if you feel like you want to be a role model or not, what you said about you wish your boyfriend was waiting on you at the door with a gun, talking about you ain't going nowhere, whatever the case is. But for many other people, and for my younger self, I would look at that and see that domestic violence is being glorified. And so me being in a domestic violence, like a very violent relationship with someone who's very, very abusive to me, is normalized. So in my mind, I'm thinking that behavior is okay, and it's not. And to continue going on saying, I don't care, we don't care, I don't care, but you should care. And this is why you should care, because your boss, your ex-boss had one of the most public domestic violence situations play out in front of the world. And you're saying that you don't care about people who have been in abusive relationships and in abusive situations? What? Make it make sense. And it just doesn't make sense to me. And it's just so disrespectful to Rihanna and her situation of what she went through with the most public case of domestic violence that happened. And you're sitting on the internet talking about you don't care about people and their stories and being survivors of domestic violence because you see it as victimization. You see it as them wanting to play the victim so bad, and everybody's got a story, but don't nobody care. But you should care because that's your boss. But you should also have some compassion when other people are coming to you and letting you know, hey, these comments are not okay. Hey, these comments were very distasteful. And for you to sit here on a podcast and kiki and you're saying that it was funny, it wasn't funny though. Like, it wasn't funny to a lot of people, and a lot of your fans are saying that it's not funny. And as a survivor of domestic violence myself, I will say that it is really frustrating when you're expressing something to somebody, you're telling somebody something, and you're trying to let them know, and they immediately hit you with the, you want to be a victim so bad, sweetheart. Let me go ahead and just break it down for you really quickly here. There is nothing more that I would I've ever wanted in my life than to not have been a survivor of any of the things that I've ever been through. Trust me, I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be a survivor. I don't want to have to wake up every single day and have to continuously find ways to survive this, because it lives in my head. No matter what I do, no matter how much therapy I get, no matter how many times I sit and I talk to my therapist and I express things, there are triggers that come up all the time. That's how bad my trauma is. So there's nothing that I want more in my life than to not have been a victim and to have to be a survivor. But I am one. And I'm using my platform to help other survivors and current victims get through the situations that they're currently in right now by helping them realize that they're not alone. So if you don't care, don't speak on it. If you don't care that other people are telling you that your behaviors are causing a certain response and that, you know, they're telling you, it takes a certain level of vulnerability for someone to say, hey, I went through this situation and I'm just letting you know that your comments are very, very hurtful to me. But if you don't care, then don't respond to it, because you're coming off very insensitive. I have been wanting to talk about this for a while, and I even did a live on Instagram where I was discussing the glamorization of words. I hate when they escape me. Where I was discussing the glamorization of domestic violence and toxic relationships. And it's glamorized so much where you can scroll through TikTok and Instagram and you see people saying, oh, I'm this toxic, or I'm this toxic, or I like when he gets mad and tells me what to do, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, those situations are not fun. They're not fun. They're not fun. They're not cute. They're not glamorous. They're not sexy. Nothing about those situations is a turn on. They're quite literally terrifying. And I wish people could take a step back from what's popular and what's trending and what's cool and realize that there are people that are hurting every second of every day because of the relationships that they've been in, because of the abuse that they've endured, because of their parents. Domestic violence is nothing to joke about, nothing to play about. And it's sick that there are certain people that are sitting out there and they're making light of the situation. And they're trying to, I hear all the time, what is it? Well, not everybody is still in that place. That's fine if you're not in that place. And you can make jokes. I make light of my domestic violence all the time. You could go and watch my videos on TikTok. A lot of my supporters will agree that I find a way to bring light to a very dark situation, but I don't sit there and I don't make jokes about wishing someone would cause violence to me, because it's not funny. Because I've been through that situation. I know what that feels like. It's scary and it's terrifying. But anyway, y'all, that is all I'm going to say on that for now. That video just irks me. Like, that whole situation just irks me. It's very frustrating. And as a survivor, and the other survivors that watched that video, I am sorry that you, it was triggering. I'm sure it was very triggering, but you're not alone in that situation. And Anyway, y'all, we're going to wrap this one up. We might touch on it a little bit later. We will figure it out. But anyway, like I always say, drink some water, get some rest. Don't let nobody else's dusty ass child treat you any kind of way. And we'll see y'all next time.